This is the new meter, and they say it's stronger and better than ever. But I guess we'll just have to find out.
A big thanks to Meter for sponsoring this video.
And here it is, the Meter 2 Plus. This is kind of exciting because you and me are going to take a first glance at the new Meter 2 Plus. First I want to see if there's anything else in the box. Oh yeah, this thing is loaded with goodies from Meter and I really appreciate that. But let's get to the main thing. The Meter Plus 2, it looks a lot like the Meter Plus and that's a good thing. The same familiar box with a very familiar content. Let's take a good look at this. I like the way it looks and I like the way it feels. This gives me the idea that they kept all the good features of the original Meter Plus. Both are beautiful blocks made out of bamboo. Of course there are a few things that stand out immediately, like the new silver bar on top of the Meter Plus 2 and the complete silver tip of the Meter Plus 2. If we take a look at the back, they're almost the same except for the way that they open. The thermometer pen stands free of the wood. It's almost like it's floating. And now there's a hole for the meter thermometer's tip to fit in. If we take a look at the probes themselves, you can see that there is a clear difference. The tip of course changed color from black to silver, and we can see that the probe is a little thinner. One of the big changes they made to the new Meter 2 Plus is that this now has 5 points of measuring the temperature of your meat. Of course you can't see it, but it's a big thing, because if I want to cook this goose, then the difference in temperature really matters. You have 5 points of measuring, and if you stick it in like this, it's going to measure, and you gotta go all the way to this stripe with the meat in. Make sure you always push it in past that point, and then it measures the temperature throughout this goose. And with the new smart multi-sensor in combination with the app, the device is now able to measure down to 1/10 of a degree. This is going to give you the ultimate control over your cook. You can now also receive alerts on any device. Another new feature is that it's now 100% waterproof, which means it should be able to go in the deep fryer. And I've got the perfect steak for that. I've got a beautiful flank steak that is perfect for frying. I'm going to cut it down to size, stick in my thermometer and put it in the fryer. Okay, it's submerged. This is crazy. For me this is a big thing. We got a thing about deep frying our steaks, and the thing is, if you deep fry steaks, you never know what the core temperature of the steak is. So on the outside it might appear nice and crispy and brown, but on the inside it might still not be cooked. But now we can figure out what the core temperature is, what the frying temperature is. The only thing that they say you gotta be sure of is that you stick in the meter thermometer far enough into that steak. We've got a core temperature of 7.1 degrees Celsius and we got a surrounding temperature of 221 degrees, which is actually a bit hot for frying. So I'm gonna tune down the temperature in my fryer. I never knew. It says 170 degrees Celsius, but now I know. My fryer has been lying all this time. And the reason that I know it's been lying is because I got this, the certificate, where they measured my specific thermometer and made sure that it's calibrated properly. Oh! Look at that steak. You see on the outside it looks done, but on the inside it's not barely even cooked. As you can see, the thermometer is doing an amazing job. It is not affected by the fryer. So we're going to drop this back in, drop the temperature a little bit. This might seem like an unlikely scenario, but think of all the people that fry their turkey for Christmas. This is the solution to know if your turkey bird is done or not. I just got the notification, removed from the fire or the fryer. And now it says let it rest. So that's what we're going to do. And if it's waterproof, it also means I should be able to put this in the dishwasher. And by accident, I also performed the drop test. Luckily it survived and it has no scratches. And that comes in handy because I got one more test to do. And that test is all about bringing the heat. Because Meter says you can now put your thermometer in your steak like that. And that's nothing new. But then you could now put this over direct fire. Now you might think I've lost my marbles, but this is an actual technique that is applied a lot, and it's called the caveman style steak. Which means we're going to take some hot charcoal and we're going to put our steak on the hot charcoal, and then every now and then we're just going to blow a little bit on that charcoal, make sure that we keep it nice and red glowing hot while we cook our steak. What changed that brings about this new feature? Well, the old thermometer it had the ceramic tip, as you can see right there. And the new one is all stainless steel. So this material can now go up to 500 degrees Celsius. And you see that little black spot right there? That is the actual transmitter. And there's loads more features that I didn't tell you about, like the Bluetooth, which allows you to go for miles and miles. It's not really miles, but it's, you want to know the exact number?
The steak.
The steak is fine. The steak is good. Otherwise the meter will let me know. Oh yeah, and it now also recharges. So if you used super fast. So if you put this back in the charger, it recharges in 15 minutes. And it says the battery on this lasts 2 years. Isn't that crazy? Like this tiny battery in the back. 2 years. Can't believe it. Is that really real? One battery every 2 years. That's just crazy. Did I forget anything? I probably forgot a lot. But what I can tell you is that the most important thing for me is the actual fact that I can now grill with this thermometer. For me is the most important thing, because it will allow me to do more things, just throw it in the dishwasher, and as a professional chef, that's kind of a neat feature. Letting it rest now, of course, with a little bit of salt sprinkled on top, giving it about 5 to 10 minutes or until your meter thermometer says so. And it kind of takes over. But you also know that if you trust the meter thermometer, it will guide you through the process and you cannot mess up ever again. I use this thing literally every single day. This thing is a freaking beast, and I recommend everyone getting one of these because it will make your life easier. You can never fail again. It doesn't matter what you make. It's going to make it perfect. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, a little piece. It starts with one and it ends with the whole steak.